Loud. All right, we should be recording. Yep, we are recording. All right, so I will call this meeting to order. First thing we need to do, even though everyone has done this in person, is we will take the oath of office. And so Rachel will do it as a collective group. So no, I state your name as a collective group. Actually say your name, please.
So I'm thinking I'm gonna read the oath and then are you guys okay with just saying, let's say Jim Moser, I will do these things. So, okay. State of Wisconsin, Dane County. Do you, having been elected or appointed to the office of the Stoughton Area School District Board of Education, but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof, swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office to the best of your ability?
I do.
I do.
I do.
I do.
Yay!
I do.
Congrats.
Yay, congrats. Hi, Lily. All right, roll call, please, Ms. Dermo.
All right, Mr. Tim Buban,
Here.
Miss Mia Croyle.
Here.
Oh, okay. Mr. Jim Moser,
Here.
Miss Dawn Garcia,
Here.
Mr. Zach Massa-Myers,
Here.
Miss Lisa Pugh,
Here.
Miss Allison Sorg,
Here.
Dr. Sharon Mylan Bartlett,
Here.
Lily,
Here.
and President Jill Patterson.
I'm
Oh,
not the
so-
president.
Jill Patterson, just Jill Patterson.
Here.
Thank you.
All right.
Did you call Zach?
Yes, I did.
Okay, very good.
Okay. So we are up to elections of officers. So I will open up the nominations for board president.
I nominate Jill Patterson.
Jill, do you accept the nomination?
Do we have to second it first?
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Second.
Yes.
Second.
Thank you.
Who was that?
Dawn.
Okay, thanks, Dawn.
Jill, do you accept?
Yes, I accept.
Right. I'll do this 2 more times. Any other nominations for the office of board president? Last time, any nominations for the office of board president? Okay, I will close the nominations for the office of board president. We have 1 nominee, and so I will ask for a roll call to elect Jill Patterson as board president by acclamation. Rachel, will you do roll call?
Yep. Miss Pugh,
Yes.
Dr. Milan Bartlett,
Yes.
Miss Garcia,
Yes.
Mr. Moser,
Yes.
Mr. Buban,
Yes.
Miss Sorg,
Yes.
Miss Croyle,
Yes.
Mr. Massa-Myers.
Yes.
Okay, and then does Miss Patterson vote?
She can abstain.
I
Okay.
abstain.
Okay, thanks.
All right. And the results of the vote were?
8 yeses and 1 abstain.
All right, congratulations, Jill. You are board president.
Yay! Woohoo!
Thank you.
So now I turn over the rest of the board meeting to our newly elected board president, Ms. Patterson.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you all for your confidence in my ability to serve you as president for the coming year. I will now entertain motions for nominees for the office of board vice president.
I nominate Lisa Pugh.
Lisa Pugh has been
Second.
seconded by Sorg. All right, I'm going to ask this question again twice. Are there any other nominees for vice president? Again, are there any other nominees for vice president? Seeing none, Ms. Dermo, will you call the roll on this vote?
Yep. Mr. Bhuvan,
Yes.
Ms. Croyle,
Yes.
Mr. Massa Myers,
Yes.
Ms. Garcia,
Yes.
Ms. Sorg,
Yes.
Ms. Pugh,
Abstain.
Mr. Moser,
Yes.
Dr. Mylan Bartlett,
Yes.
and President Patterson.
Yes.
8 yeses and 1 abstain.
All right, now I will ask for nominees for the role of board clerk.
I nominate Allison Sorg. Second.
Second by Croyle. Are there any other nominees for the role of board clerk? Again, are there any other nominees for the role of board clerk? Seeing none, Ms. Dermo, will you call the roll?
Yep. Ms. Garcia,
Yes.
Ms. Pugh,
Yes.
Dr. Mylan Bartlett,
Yes.
Mr. Massa Myers,
Yes.
Mr. Bhuvan,
Yes.
Mr. Moser,
Yes.
Ms. Sorg,
Abstain.
Ms. Croyle,
Yes.
President Patterson.
Yes.
All right, 8 yes and 1 abstain.
All right, now we are on to the role of deputy clerk. Are there any nominees for the role of deputy clerk?
I nominate Mia Croyle for deputy clerk.
I second.
Are there any other nominees for the role of deputy clerk? Are there any other nominees for the role of deputy clerk? All right, seeing none, Rachel, will you call the roll?
Mr. Massa Myers,
Yes.
Mr. Bhuvan,
Yes.
Ms. Sorg,
Yes.
Ms. Croyle,
Abstain.
Mr. Moser,
Yes.
Dr. Mylan Bartlett,
Yes.
Ms. Garcia,
Yes.
Ms. Pugh,
Yes.
President Patterson.
Yes.
And we have 8 yeses and 1 abstain.
All right, that brings us to nominees for the duties of the board treasurer. Sorry.
I nominate Zach Massa Myers.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Pugh.
Who first? Who was first? Sorry.
Sorg.
Okay, thank you.
Zach, do you accept the nomination?
I accept.
All right. Are there any other nominees for the role of board treasurer? Are there any other nominees for the role of board treasurer? All right, seeing none, Ms. Dermo, will you call the question?
Ms. Sorg,
Yes.
Mr. Moser,
Yes.
Mr. Bhuvan,
Yes.
Ms. Pugh,
Yes.
Ms. Croyle,
Yes.
Mr. Massa Myers,
I abstain.
Dr. Mylan Bartlett,
Yes.
Ms. Garcia,
Yes.
and President Patterson.
Yes.
Okay, 8 yeses and 1 abstain.
All right. Congratulations all. We are moving on to item 1E, which is the proposed board meeting schedule for 2025 through 2026, April, and I need a motion.
I move approval of the proposed 2025-2026 school board meeting calendar as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
That would be Mr. Moser.
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yes.
All right, the May 2025 through April 2026 board meeting schedule has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing no hands, I will call the question, and Ms. Deramo, can you take a roll call vote on this, please?
Yep.
All right.
All right. Miss Pugh,
Yes. I thought Jill, Mia had her hand
Oh.
raised.
I
Oh.
didn't see that. Go ahead, Mia.
So what Dan was showing didn't start until July, but I'm assuming we have dates in, or am I reading it wrong? Can you put that back up, Dan?
Apologies. Here's the one that starts in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
there it is.
Thank you. Is
there-
that one in board docs?
It will
No.
be once the
Okay.
board is,
Yeah.
once it gets
Okay.
approved, yes.
All right.
Mia,
satisfied.
just for your information, it is the calendar that is included in administrative content in board docs.
Okay.
It's not the public content, but it's the admin content.
Okay.
So, okay.
Thank you.
All right. Is there any other discussion on this topic? And I'm trying to figure out if I can see reactions. I don't see any other reactions. So if anyone else sees reactions, let me know. Otherwise, I think we're okay for Ms. Deramo to call the question. Okay.
Miss Pugh,
Yes.
Dr. Mylan Bartlett,
Yes.
Miss Garcia,
Yes.
Mr. Moser,
Yes.
Mr. Buban,
Yes.
Miss Sorg,
Yes.
Miss Croyle,
Yes.
Mr. Massa Myers, Zach.
Yes.
Zach.
Okay. Yes, okay.
Sorry,
And
sorry.
President Patterson.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, then we are on to item 1F, which is the regular board meeting agenda format, which is same format we've been operating under for quite some time. Can I get a motion?
Move approval of the regular board meeting agenda format as presented.
Second.
Second by Moss and Myers. Any discussion? Seeing no hands raised. Ms. Deramo, can you call the question? Roll call, please.
Mr. Buban,
Yes.
Miss Croyle,
Yes.
Mr. Massa Myers,
Yes.
Miss Garcia,
Yes.
Miss Sorg,
Yes.
Miss Pugh,
Yes.
Mr. Moser,
Yes.
Dr. Mylan Bartlett,
Yes.
and President Patterson.
Yes. All right, that takes us to item 1G, which is the proposed work group assignments. I appreciate everyone's input on their work group preferences. Just for a little context, I don't know if Dan was going to post these. They were not included in board docs, but we tried to equalize the number of work group assignments that each individual board member had when we did when I did individual work group assignments, but also keeping in mind the likely frequency that work groups would be called upon to meet, because some of them would have lower frequency of meetings. And Dan, were you going to present those?
Yep, I
Okay.
meant to get those updated, so, let me see here. Rachel, do
you
you
want-
still have
Do you want me, what am I pulling up?
the purple one that you
Okay,
had drafted?
yeah. Oh. I will share it with you because I can't share my screen.
Okay,
So just give me 1 second.
So
right.
unfortunately, there were some work groups that everyone wanted to be a part of, and there were other work groups that no one wanted to be a part of, as you can imagine. So we just tried to share the love, and with the understanding that any board member can participate in any work group, that even if they are not, ad hoc assigned at any time. So if you feel like you wanted to attend or be a part of a work group, but you weren't assigned that, you're more than welcome to attend those work group meetings when they are called. But this is just sort of our ad hoc way of making sure we have people in the wings that are ready to take on a work group assignment when the board needs that work to be done. And I'm hoping that soon.
Really
Dan.
sorry that it's taking me so long.
No,
No,
it's
I
okay.
got it. I just need to,
So Dan, are you looking for the one that I filled in and then we were waiting for
yeah,
okay.
so I'm just, all right, I think I got it here. So let me apologize for the delay. Here we go.
So as you may or may not know, some of the work groups have assignments that are dictated by our board policies. For instance, finance and facilities is frequently has to involve the board treasurer. Is that correct, Dan?
Yep.
Yep.
And others, like governance is basically prescribed by our policies. So these are the work groups that we came up with. Well, that I came up with, honestly, as they stand right now to equalize the number of work groups that each individual board member had to participate in, but also given the work of the work groups, what made the most sense. So I want to give the board enough time to look at this before we call a question on approval for this.
Yeah,
So
and I need
Yeah,
to,
this has kind of been thrown at us pretty quick. I need more than just tonight to look at this. In the past, we haven't done it this way in the past. In the past, we elected officials, and then this came well after that. So
That's true. Yep.
And
this is a
it's not
little different of
filled
a
out.
process, and it's a little concerning to me because we didn't know who was going to be president technically coming into tonight, and now we have suddenly. So we just haven't done it this quick. So I'm just questioning as to why we're rushing through this.
We certainly don't need to. We can table this until the next board meeting, I think. There's no reason to rush into it.
I move
just
we
a-
table this discussion to the next meeting.
Second.
Second by Moser or Bhuvan?
There's
Moser.
Moser.
Okay, very good.
Was
All right.
Garcia first?
No, Sorg was the
Oh.
motion.
Okay,
Mhm.
sorry.
Is just a question of clarification. The only committee chair that's dictated in policy is that finance and facilities needs to be chaired by the treasurer. Is that correct? And then governance likely from the president?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
That
All
is
right. So there are some things on that chart that now that Zach's the treasurer need to change because I think he was identified as being the chair of employee relations.
Yep. Okay, so it has been moved and seconded to table this until our next regular board meeting. Is there any further discussion on that? Allison?
Can this be sent out to us so we've got time to look at it before?
Yes, I
Okay.
think that's a good idea.
Jill, do you want people to communicate directly with you if they have questions, concerns, or is this just something we'll be talking about in the next meeting in public comment type?
I think that it would be helpful if Dan and Rachel could work on populating it with the positions that needed to be populated after tonight's elections, and then we can distribute that as part of the board packet for the next meeting. And if people have questions or concerns, they can reach out to me or they can bring them to the meeting. Either way. Does that seem amenable to everyone?
Mhm.
Okay.
And Rachel and I will work on that. We'll get this out tomorrow morning. We'll email a copy out. If at the end, Rachel, Lisa, and Jill wouldn't mind sticking on online briefly, so that way we can make sure that we've got all the right people in all the right positions for the.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure that we're all in favor for the motion to move that to the table. Okay,
Until the May
May 5th.
5th meeting, yes.
Would that be a discussion action item then?
I think so.
Okay.
All right. So can we do a roll call on that, please?
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Massa Myers,
Yes.
Mr. Buban,
Yes.
Ms. Sorg,
Yes.
Ms. Croyle,
Yes.
Mr. Moser,
Yes.
Dr. Mylan Bartlett,
Yes.
Ms. Garcia,
Yes.
Ms. Pugh,
Yes.
President Patterson.
Yes. Okay, so for item 2A, we have future meeting at May 5th at 6:30.
Oh, I didn't-
Lily, will you be there?
Hang on. Sorry, I lost my mouse for a second. That'll be my last meeting is the May 5th meeting. So
Aaron.
All right, well, we will see you then. If there is nothing else, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Moved by Garcia. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Massa Myers. Any discussion? All in favor? Oh, wait, let's do this by roll call. Okay, go ahead, Rachel.
All right, Ms. Garcia,
Yes.
Ms. Pugh,
Yes.
Dr. Mylan Bartlett,
Yes.
Mr. Massa Myers,
Yes.
Mr. Buban,
Yes.
Mr. Moser,
Yes.
Ms. Sorg,
Yes.
Ms. Croyle,
Yes.
and President Patterson.
Yes. All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. I apologize for not having the committee content prepared in advance, but have a good night.
Can I just
You
say,
were president.
Sharon, I love your background, and Lily, your dog's adorable.
thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Oh.
Good night, guys.